Namaste, this is Das, and welcome to the Why Hold On series. In the previous dialogue, we looked at control, and today we will look at one layer deeper, which is expectations. Now, let's first look at what is expectations because everyone has their definition, but they all believe it is the same definition. So I'll take a few seconds so that you can have a preview of definition of expectations. Now, expectations is a desire which you expect to be fulfilled by someone else. I'll repeat it again. Expectation is nothing but a desire, a dream which you want, but it is to be delivered by someone else. And we'll look at it more deeply. So, and there is different kind of expectations. One is a functional level of expectation, where let's say you go to a restaurant, you pay for dinner, and you expect the dinner to be served. Or you go pay for a vehicle, a car, or a motorcycle, and you expect the car to be delivered at your preference of your color that you asked for. So those are the functional expectations. Or let's say you've got an employer-employee arrangement. There is expectations. Once the job interview is finalized, they will clarify the expectations. So those are the functional ones. And then there is these psychological expectations, which are always vague. See, the functional ones are more clear. That's the main difference. Whereas the psychological ones are more vague. And they are mainly present in interpersonal relationships. Now, interpersonal could be a husband, wife, a parent to kids, kids to grandparents, or even a business partner. But you are very much emotionally invested. So it's not about just the transaction. It's about when the expectations are not clear, but they come attached. If you fall in those categories, then there will be some said and unsaid expectations. So, for example, you may not be married yet, but you would have seen some movies, some books, some seen your parents, neighbors' parents, society in general, and you have got these assumptions about the nature of that relationship. And those assumptions are going to become your expectations. But that's a journey. But those assumptions are already somewhere leaving an imprint in your brain, in your system. So now, if you're a man and if you're going for a woman, then you are already having certain assumptions that when I get married, these will be the expectations. But you can't expect it from anyone because there is nobody. You are still alone. So then you have to learn how to make an assumption into an expectation. And everyday life teaches you very easily how to transition any assumption into an expectation. See, let's say there is this TV company and they are advertising that we are giving a lifetime warranty. They will replace the TV forever. Anytime it breaks down, they'll give you a new model. Now, you already are thinking of buying a TV, but you can't expect this company to give you a TV for lifetime because you haven't purchased it yet. So you save your money, you go to the shop, you negotiate, you agree to the terms, you pay for the TV, and now you've got a receipt. Once you have the receipt, now you know that you are in the pool. You are in the pool to demand those expectations to be met by the company if the TV fails to perform anytime in the future. So you learn very fast that for you to go from an assumption to an expectation, you need to cross the bridge of commitment. As soon as that commitment is done, the assumption becomes an expectation. And now the assumption that was in your brain is now handed over to the other party, and they are expected to deliver the dream you like. So, and it doesn't matter who says it, because the other party also has expectation. They could be announcing it. So it doesn't matter. But as long as the commitment is the common path, the expectations will find a way to emerge into a plant from a seed. So once you start learning that commitment is the key to have my dreams met, and all your dreams and desires where others have to deliver it, all of them, now you know how to get them. So if we go back to the relationship example, and if you are looking to be in a relationship and you meet someone who is beautiful, attracted to you, you both are attracted to each other, and you both are having the same desire of getting married. And now you discuss what you always thought were your assumptions. And as soon as the other person commits, yeah, I will be happy to deliver that. You give all those assumptions to that person and make it expectations from that person. And the other person will do the same to you. So it's not one way street. As soon as the bridge of commitment is created, expectations will flow both ways. It's like data transfer is happening in a cable, both ways. So once that is established, one feels that I'm going on a journey of pleasure, because now all my dreams will be fulfilled by this other person. So they are very happy inside. They don't recognize that they are just preparing for a battle, because in their own perception, they've got the perfect person. It could be business idea to be delivered as a project coming to fruition, or it could be personal partnership, intimate partnership. But you just are so happy because you have found someone who will deliver your dream. And they have put their name to the paper, they have verbally agreed, they have signed 5 dot points, and brilliant. In your own head, you have taken the flight tickets to a destination where it is all pleasure, without realizing that you are about to enter a battlefield. It's just a matter of time. Now, and we will go into that a bit deeper. When, if you notice any, look at it for a second on a traffic laws. What is the purpose of a speeding sign in any country? It says 60 kilometers per hour. What does it mean? It means that road will cater to a maximum of 60 kilometers an hour. So whether you're on a scooter or a car, unless they have different speeds, that is what you're permitted to go. Now, let's say you exceed that speed limit. What happens? You get a fine, or a policeman stops you and reminds you of your expectations. The policeman will remind you that you're expected to follow the traffic laws. Expected. It's just to soften the rule. It has nothing to do with the fine. The fine will be precisely what it is advertised. If you cross that by more than 5 kilometers, you will get this fine. But they, just to soften it, they will say, you are expected to follow the traffic laws. But if there is consequence attached to it, What is the true purpose of the speed limit? It is essentially to control the traffic. So nobody does a mistake, nobody smashes into anybody. According to their research, this is the best speed that that road can handle based on the local residents' traffic, based on how many cars go through, how many schools are in the neighborhood. They have defined different speeds on different roads. But the consequences are attached. So they say it in a softer way, you're expected. What happens in a relationship when you give the expectations to your partner? If we just stick to that example, are you saying this is just my wishful thinking? And if you don't deliver them, it's okay. Well, if that's the case, why bother wasting time? Or you can say, well, there'll be consequences. You might be able to articulate what those consequences are. If you don't deliver this, if you don't deliver that, depending on how important that specific expectation is, you will have consequences attached to it. You can have different level and weightage of consequences attached to maybe exclusivity, maybe living together, maybe providing financial support, maybe providing emotional support, maybe physical intimacy, maybe emotional support, maybe physical time together, maybe having bearing kids, maybe providing a home. There could be a million expectations, some said, some unsaid. And we'll look at that as well. So, if you look at it that way, and you can take your own time, don't believe anything I say. We are just doing an inquiry together. I request you to pause and take your own time, reflect in your own life, and assess it. Do you have any consequences that other person has expressed which are attached to the expectation? Or have you given some expectations to your partner where you also have consequences? And consequences doesn't mean it has to be really bad. It could be probably something, not speaking to that other person, maybe not giving them attention for 1 hour, 1 day. That is still a consequence. Or maybe you want to leave the house, maybe you want to leave the country, maybe you don't want to talk to them ever again, depending on how important their expectation is. But please reflect. Don't, we are just having this dialogue together so that we can investigate together. So assess it, that if there are consequences attached, then it is no different than the traffic rule. And what is the purpose of traffic rule? To control the traffic. So if you can correlate the dots, then you will realize that all expectations are about control. They're just diplomatic way to control, but they are all about control because it has nothing to do with the other person. Expectation is all about desires for you. Someone has to deliver that dream for you. And you are ensuring that by offering the consequences, you are ensuring that your dream is delivered. And what is very interesting, you will see, is that in interpersonal relationships, you actually say, let us get together so we both can be free. I want you to grow, I will grow, and I will love you unconditionally, and all that stuff. But if your prime objective with expectations is to get your dreams delivered, then are you really interested in other person's freedom and growth? Or are you more interested in your expectations to be delivered? Make a choice. You can't have both. Think about it. Can you have both? And if you can't have both, then why speak those words, those sentences which have nothing to do with what you actually mean? You're talking about growth, freedom, and letting someone truly come out to their potential while in parallel offering expectations in the same conversation. Can you see the scam that is going on? Or are we too oblivious? You are too ignorant that, oh, no, we can't, it doesn't make sense. We can't see how by us asking for expectations, it is not allowing for freedom. And I've met people where they will say, I'm fully supportive. I fully believe in my partner's freedom. They are even free to do anything they like. I'm like, oh, brilliant. And as long as their partner talks to them if they choose to do something else. Now, that is still an expectation, isn't it? So, I've also met people where they can say, oh, well, I will not even expect anything, not even a conversation. And I was like, so why are you mentioning it? Ah, because deep down it'll be still hurtful to me. Which means if one person is feeling hurtful, then do you believe that that person will be able to stay in their composed space, in their content space where they normally are? Which means their individuality will shift to an annoyed space. And the other person will be able to read it. And as a ripple effect, that person's personal space is also going to be disturbed. So that is the consequence that that person has to pay. So any expectation, regardless of the weightage of the consequence, will always be a rule and will always be restricting the freedom. And the interesting part is that when someone talks about these assumptions and they want to actually talk about these assumptions, they want to point it out. What is the purpose of pointing it out? So that you get a little more confidence that your dream is delivered. And that is the purpose of commitment, that in this whole uncertain world, you would like at least your dreams to be certain. Otherwise, there is no reason for having that conversation even in your own head. You have it with another person or not, that's just a matter of semantics. But if you have expectations in your brain, they are already there. You vocalize, you don't vocalize, doesn't matter. You're just hiding it. So, in this uncertain world, you would like your dreams to be certain. And that is someone else's job, by the way. The biggest paradox that you create, which is interesting, and I don't know why people fail to notice it, that by calling out your assumptions, which you're calling as expectations, and the other person says, oh, yes, I will deliver those expectations. Yes, I agree to them. It is you who is assuming that their verbal agreement or their writing agreement is a guarantee that these expectations will be delivered in a future that doesn't exist yet. So you had these many assumptions, which are small assumptions. Now you talk about them, other person acknowledges and vocalizes confirmation of delivery. You are satisfied that they will be delivered in the future. These were assumptions, but now you have another assumption that this conversation means a future delivery. I have no idea how that connects. See, the other person may be very honest right now based on where they are. They are confirming that yes, at this stage, there is no reason that they can think otherwise. But you assume it is a confirmation, it is a guarantee. It is not. It is like you are on one shore of a river and you are thinking of crossing the river. You are aware of all the challenges. You can see the water flow. You can see if you're a good swimmer, not swimmer, what is the water current. You are aware of the risks. And you can make a decision accordingly. But now you meet another person and you tell them that, look, I would like to go from this shore to another shore. And that person gives you a boat made out of paper. So it's a paper boat. And all of a sudden, your confidence goes higher. That based on this paper boat, I am assured I'll be able to go from this shore to another shore because it's going to happen in future. Inevitably, once you get on the boat and you're in the middle of the stream, the paper boat is going to dissolve and collapse, and you will start screaming because now you are in a much further shock. Because now there was a much bigger assumption that you will definitely cross the shore. You will definitely achieve your destination, that dream in that paper boat. So, in your own perception, it is a real pain, it is a real sorrow, it is a real challenge. And your friends and family and your psychologist, they all come to support you that it was really bad. But anyone who can observe that you intentionally chose to go in a paper boat, they cannot truly offer any sympathy to you, can they? Because it was all the way along, it was your own conspiracy that you were bringing to fruition by agreeing to get on a paper boat, by getting someone else to deliver that paper boat, because it gave you some kind of certainty in this uncertain world. Now, these are about the known assumptions and known expectations. There's unknown ones as well. Because, see, each person can make their own assumptions. See, one person might have got the information and made the assumption that a partner's marriage, husband or wife, means that they will offer unconditional support. And that support means their active presence by my side. We will live in the same house for the rest of the life till we die. The other person comes with their own confidence that my husband or wife will give me unconditional support no matter where I am. Now, they both are talking about their assumptions before they get married. And they're like, you will unconditionally support me? Yes, yes, yes. And this person will say, you will unconditionally support me? Yes, yes, yes. You will love me forever? Yes. You will love me forever? Yes. They get married. Now, 5 years later, this person who had the assumption and now the expectation that their partner will unconditionally support them gets an idea to go to a different country, to go for a job or a business opportunity or exploring a personal hobby, and they might want to learn meditation for 2 years or something, or a great business opportunity for 5 years. But they have no problem with the marriage, but they have to also pursue where they are now because they've grown into this new individual. Now, their expectation is that support is unconditional. This individual's expectation is no matter what, we will be living in this family home forever. Now there'll be fighting, there'll be conflict, not for anything else, but for their own assumptions, their own expectations. Because if someone asks this person, are you happy with this marriage? Do you want to stay married to this person? Yeah, of course. Same about this one. Are you happy to stay in this marriage? Yeah, of course. So what is the problem? The conflict is about those assumptions and their own perceptions, which are far opposite on the spectrum compared to each other. So, this phenomena of creating expectations and giving the job to someone else and then still saying, I believe in your freedom, is a very paradoxical situation. And I'm amazed at how many people do it. almost everybody. And the moment you go into this commitment and then you go into these expectations, what happens? When your growth window comes, and your growth window will come inevitably, because we are all growing in every millisecond of our life. See, when you were 10 years old, you had this toy. I give this analogy regularly. And you assumed you loved this toy and you will play with that forever. But when you grew out of that stage, you couldn't keep that expectation or commitment because your growth was inevitably stronger. It had a much stronger pull. It was your destiny pulling you out. It wasn't that you hated the toy. You you just don't have a choice. But if I make you play with the toy while you have your destiny calling for a different desire, then it'll be a compromise for you, isn't it? You'll be compressed. So I leave these thoughts and some questions with you, that if you are going to commit and if you are going to have expectations and promise to deliver expectations, then question yourself. You have one life. Why are you holding on to these ideas, and why are you intentionally choosing to live a compressed life? Think about it. Take your time, and by all means, reach out, send me an email, send me some comments. I leave you with these thoughts. Namaste. This is Das. Have a great day and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.